Welcome to Acoustic Guitar, episode 13, Bossa, Samba, and the Latin guitar style. Now, for many guitar players, the idea of performing Latin grooves is fairly limited, unless, of course, you're from maybe South America, then I'd figure you'd have a pretty good handle on playing Latin guitar. But, seriously, this type of playing is really nice to learn, and there's interesting grooves from styles like Samba, Bossa Nova, as well as the Mambo, the ChaCha rhythms. There's lots of really nice sounds here. And in this episode, what we're going to do is practice riffs that explore all these grooves in order to help you to learn the foundational ideas for playing Latin guitar. So let's get started here in part one of the lesson. Reverse pattern. All right, so the ideas that we're going to be looking at in example one are just simply developing the Latin rhythm. It's a two-bar clave. The clave is the main foundational rhythmic structure that we have in Latin music. And, the typical ideas that we have, if we were, say, in South America playing this with all the pros, they're not thinking in terms of counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, that kind of thing. They're thinking in terms of the feel of the clave. Now, let's look at example 1A. And in this example, we're going to be moving simply between a C minor 7 chord, bar chord style, at the 8th fret, 6th string, barring across 4th to 2nd. And then what we're going to do is shift over, kind of giving a Dorian quality sound into this F dominant 9 and then into this F dominant 7. Just have a little bit of a color shift from the extension between those two chords. Now, in the example number 1A, what we're doing here is we're giving quarter notes up front, then we're going into some 8th note rhythm in the middle of the clave, and then we're wrapping up with some quarter notes. So we wind up with this feel where the bass note comes in first in this example I have, then we're plucking the chord on the second beat. So 1, 2, and then we're splitting it faster, 3 and, then we have a rest, and then the upbeat of 4. So the whole thing goes 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Then we go back to that 8th note feel into the new chord of F dominant 9, and we're going to grab that bass tone, this time on the 8th fret of 5th string, and we have the 7th fret of 4th, and then we have the two notes that I'm going to be barring here with my ring finger, the 8th fret of 3rd and 2nd strings, and we'll have this 1 and 2 and 3, and then we'll move over to change the chord around into a F dominant 7th. So we're just changing the upper notes. We're getting rid of that 9th up there. So again, in the second measure, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Remember the third beat and the fourth beat of that second measure, they're quarter notes. So really, when you look at this rhythm, there's a similarity in the 8th note ideas in the middle, and then we're moving over to more quarter notes found on the outer edge. And it's just really kind of an interesting sound when you put it all together. Here it is a little slower. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4. A little faster now. You can tell on the right hand, when I'm doing the playing, the fingerstyle approach, I'm using thumb and then index, middle, and ring to take care of those inside guitar strings there. Now that's example number 1A, but we have a variation on that in example 1B, where in this case, we're putting the 8th notes up front and then again at the very end of the clave. So we're having the 8th notes come in like this, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Those third and fourth beats are quarter notes. And then when we move over to the F dominant 9 chord, more quarter notes coming into that second measure. 1, 2, and then on the F dominant 7th chord, 3 and 4 and. So we break it apart like that. So it's kind of an interesting idea where now the 8th notes are on the outer edges of the clave, but in the interior, we're using quarter notes. So it's sort of a reverse feel idea. Here it is slowly. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. A little bit faster. A little bit faster now. So you get the idea, you know, when you're moving along through them, I think it's kind of an interesting coloring when you have these grooves going by. And, you're changing the order and sequence of how, in this case, eighth notes and quarter notes are being laid out. And, you can sort of even put these things back to back. You could change them up in a tune. In one part of the tune, you could have example 1A. And then later... So some really interesting things that you can do, maybe even just moving between a verse and a chorus of a piece that you're writing if you want to have it, give that Latin feel to it. So anyway, that's example number one. Do some work on those ideas. It's not too hard. There's only two different, chords really that we're moving through, a minor 7 and a dominant color. You have that shift though on the 9 to the 7. You're gonna have to compensate for that. But if you didn't want to do that, you could play the whole thing as either the 9th or the whole thing as either a dominant 7th. It's up to you. But anyway, that's example number one. We're gonna take a short break, come back in a moment with example 2, where I have a really interesting shift in the time signature because we're gonna move over to a triple meter in that one. Hey everyone, Andrew Wasson. Just wanted to make a quick announcement about CreativeGuitarStudio.com. If you haven't grabbed a free membership yet, just head to the website, click on Create Account, fill this form out, and you got a free lifetime account to the website. Once that's in place, you can just jump into the members area here where we got all the lesson plans. And my quick announcement I wanted to make is I'm really excited because we've got the latest installment in the Advanced Guitar program posted to the site. Now, in the Advanced Guitar program is packed full of information. Each of these project lessons is around 2.5 hours of instruction. There's probably around 160 to 180 hours of instruction just in these lesson plans alone. The latest installment covers minor pentatonic, and there's 24 videos. This lesson plan is 2 hours and 45 minutes long when you run through all the lessons. If you've got a full premium membership, you can download the course files and an MP3 jam track. It's really quite the program. So if you're looking for a really serious guitar course online, right from beginner, I've got the introductory program here, or intermediate, if you feel like you're more of an intermediate player and you want to work through, lesson plans that are really geared to understanding the guitar fingerboard much better. So if that's kind of your level, I've got those set up. But, a lot of people really enjoy the advanced material. It's all the major scales, major 7 arpeggios and chords and minors and pentatonics and lots of improvisation exercises throughout here. So if you really want to jump into some great step-by-step material that is really organized, and in no way is it some kind of random guitar course. Like, I know I've heard so many complaints over the years about all the random lessons, and then probably for a lot of you, you're sick of the random lessons on YouTube that don't follow any kind of order and sequence. Well, grab your free membership, start with that. But when you're ready to advance to sort of the next level there, you can grab one of my membership plans. Basic monthly membership's $19.95 a month, and then if you want to upgrade to the premium package, you do save $60. It's a one-time payment of $179.40, but that does give you full access to everything on the site. If you want a great step-by-step, well-organized guitar course, just head over to CreativeGuitarStudio.com and set up your membership today. All right, in example 2, we have this nice triple meter feel. It's in 6/8 time. You're gonna have to learn how to count in triple meter if this is new for you. Remember, in 6/8, we have 6 eighth notes per measure, and what we're doing in this feel is we're operating around the sounds of A minor. And I've got some nice setups for the chords here around 5th fret position. I'm doing a bar on 3rd and 2nd strings. I've got the 4th string, 7th fret down there. Typical A minor triad in the 5th position. And then when we work out the timing, remember that what we're doing is using 6 eighth notes per measure. So how this thing is set up is I've got the first 2 eighth notes in a quarter note up front. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6 at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, that's the first measure. Then when we move to the second measure, we're just doing a bar here. You could treat it like a C major with G in the bass. Now we're missing the first beat because there's an eighth note there, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the last note I'm dropping down, I'm grabbing this F sharp on the 4th fret of 4th string. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. just like that. That's the second measure. Now in the third measure, we're going to go back to the same rhythm that we had up front, but this time we're going to be off of this F sharp minor 7 flat 5 chord. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like that. And then we move to our last measure, which is the same as the third measure, where we have the eighth note rest up front, and we're back on this C chord with G in the bass. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's that lone eighth note at the end, and I'm taking it back into the A tone again on 7th fret, 4th string. So here it is a little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you put it all together. I'll play it slowly for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so here it is a little faster for you. All right, really nice sound, and you could speed that up pretty fast if you wanted to sound really cool fast. 1, 2. All right, it's a really neat groove. So that's example number 2, 6/8 triple meter time idea. If you're not familiar with 6/8 time, I mean, there is going to be that factor where you're going to have to probably practice and understand how 6/8 meter is felt and know how to count it. But aside from that, you know, it's a really interesting groove. You could, you know, even if this is totally, you know, new to you and don't understand the time, just play by ear, you know, match into what I'm doing here and lock it down. So anyway, that is example number 2. We're going to take a short break here, come back in example 3, where I've got some nice bossa and samba grooves that are going to be in cut time. So we're going to be changing time signatures again. All right, in example 3, you can tell I've got this a little bit different feel going on. It's in cut time now, and you know, I would have to say that probably by far almost the most popular Latin time signature that we have is the cut time feel. Now here in example 3, I've got 2 really similar grooves. They're shown in cut time, and I'm kind of moving down between an A minor 7, A minor 6, and then I'm grabbing into a G major 7 and a G major 6. And I'm just kind of dropping that idea down the neck with 2 feels. In example 3A, I've got this feel where it's kind of real 8th note driven up front on the A minor 7 chord. And then I come in on that A minor 6 and I sustain it after just sort of an 8th note rest there. And then I drop down into the G major 7 chord, same kind of thing, really driving 8th notes. And then I go into that idea that's happening with the G major 6, where it's sustaining more. We have that brief 8th rest and then the sustain on the G major 6. So from the front end of it, A minor 7, A minor 6, G major 7, G major 6. All right? And because it's in cut time, you want to have that feel of the group of 2 there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's moving pretty quick. 1, 2. All right, so work on that one. Now, what happens though in example 3B is we're just breaking things up a little bit, and we're adding another punch on the A minor 6 and on the G major 6. So we've got this sort of lead in with the single tone in the bass, and then moving into this A minor 6. So we have the extra punch there, extra 8th note at the end, and then we're moving into the G major 7. All right, so it's kind of punchy there. Tell it's got a little bit more drive, a little bit more movement to it than example 3A, because 3A has the sustain that happens into those 6 chords, you know, whereas in example 3B we're sort of more punching into them know, and then getting the, you know, sort of feel driving a little bit more on those. All right, so that's example 3. There's some interesting sounds there, not very much going on in terms of chords, you know, just a couple of movements along the neck there. But that actually wraps up part 1 of lesson 13. And what's going to be happening for part 2 when we head into the members area for acoustic guitar lesson 13 is we're going to look at a couple more rhythms coming up. We have the Mambo, ChaCha groove, and then also we're going to look at some melodic patterns to establish harmony. And these are some very cool sounds. I think you'll quite enjoy what's happening. You know, we're going to have a little bit more bass note movement, more bass note melody going on. And, you know, to be able to access these, all you need to do is pull a membership out at creativeguitarstudio.com. Monthly memberships are very popular. They're just $19.95 a month, and you get full access to all the videos on the site. If you want to take things a step further, you can grab the premium membership, which unlocks all the worksheets for the actual courses. So if you're really interested in coming into the site and doing the intermediate and introductory and advanced courses and all that, and you want to grab all the handouts and maybe, you know, pop them into a 3-ring binder, print them at home or whatever, you can do that if you have a premium membership. Plus, right now I'm running a special. It's kind of a open-ended special. I don't really have an end date on it or anything, where I'm going to be giving away my guitar care and maintenance ebook with every premium package purchase. So keep that in mind too. If you want to pick up a premium package, you know, do the annual full year membership, you can do that for $179.40, and that covers you for the entire year and gives you complete full access to the whole site. Go and check it out though with a free membership. If you don't have a free membership yet, you know, go and at least get that. Free general membership is there, and it offers you 30 free lessons. There's all the quick licks lessons that are there with handouts and everything for you. So go check that out. Get the 30 free lessons, and then, you know, look at all the other stuff that's on the site, because there's loads and loads of stuff on the site there for you. So anyway, I'm going to wrap things up here in acoustic guitar lesson 13, Bossa, Samba, Latin guitar style. I will, you know, catch up with you in the members area there for part 2 of this lesson in a few minutes, hopefully, if you want to join me there and check out what's going on with these Mambo and ChaCha grooves, as well as with establishing these melodic patterns to have further harmony. If you're interested in learning faster, making better use of your time, and practicing longer, the Accelerating Your Learning Curve ebook is for you. There's over 60 pages of information on how to take control of both the way you learn and the time that you devote to your practicing. Accelerating Your Learning Curve is available for instant download in the View Our Products area at creativeguitarstudio.com. Thanks for watching part 1 of the lesson. Be sure to sign up for a membership at creativeguitarstudio.com to watch part 2. In part 2, we'll study the Mambo and ChaCha grooves, as well as how to add in melodic patterns to establish harmony. Plus, as a member, you'll also be able to download the handout for this lesson, along with many more professional guitar lessons. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch up next in the members area.